the decision making in court, but I think will help paint the image of who TJ Walker was, right?
So everybody I talked to, like the 6 people I talked to, 5 of which refused to testify in court, said that TJ, like one thing about him is this guy was not corrupt. That was the one thing he despised more than anything.
I think those statements would be important then, even if those people don't go up to the stand. They may be called for it if defense wants to push for it, but
When I asked Cantor that, she go, corruption. This guy, she's like, you wouldn't believe him. 5 years ago, he was clean for I don't know how long, and he went to fight a war in Sanguine over corruption. This guy was all over Twitter. I would tell him, like, joke, I would call him a Twitter warrior because he would not shut up about corruption. Like, the one thing this guy did not like was corruption in any form. And it's like that reaction, that witness experience and character witness, I feel like the public and the judges need to hear. Because then they're going to say, oh, no wonder Solomon didn't tell him. This guy, his whole ethos, his life purpose was anti-corruption. If he got a sniff of what Solomon had planned, he would have shut it down instantly. That's why he wasn't told. So how do we get that Cantor relaying how vehemently he was against him in court? How do we get her to, what question do we ask her to say that without it getting shut down immediately?
Well, so I just spoke with Dr. Cantor because I wanted to confirm that she was okay testifying. She wants me to come speak with her at the hospital. I believe she's having second thoughts about doing this.
Interesting.
I will say this. I don't think that Cantor has much to necessarily worry about based on what is there. I think it is critical that the people that know or knew TJ to some personal affiliation, you could even go as far back as to check TJ's subpoena and find out who he's been in contact with if they want you to provide evidence to state, did TJ have affiliations with people? Was TJ friends with people? And if you could provide in a subpoena, oh, well, here's our evidence. He's been in contact with this person 7 times in the last week. At least that's something to kind of ground yourself. I think that's going a little extra.
I visited everyone he last spoke to that was close to him. Nobody will say anything in court. They will tell me everything off the record, how they feel about him, but nothing that we can submit as evidence.
I think that might be a problem with painting the image of who TJ was. And I think that might have a little backfire from the defense if it gets pushed to that point. I think having somebody willing to speak on behalf of a man who they cared about, while it may cause turmoil after the fact, I think if somebody is willing to, in the good heart of TJ Walker's name, be willing to speak to the character of who he was, will help your case.
But we don't have that person.
Well, you have many witnesses who have spoken highly of TJ, but no one wants to speak.
No one will say, see, so I can bring it up in court. They're just going to say I'm making it up.
Well, then let me ask this. Who's going to be speaking on behalf, not even on behalf, but who's going to speak to light of TJ? Is anyone going to speak to light of TJ?
No, there's no one will
I
speak.
guess it'd be Cantor, but we need.
But if Cantor is showing even the least bit of apprehension with the current state of things, the threats made today, I don't feel comfortable going forward. Go have your talk with her, Uriel. I'm gonna call this thing off. I don't think we have enough here. Okay.
I don't know if you should call it all off.
No, I'm calling it off. I'm calling it off. There's something happened. I can't talk about it because I promised that I wouldn't say. I'm calling it off.
You shouldn't, Coyote.
No. I'm calling it off. The Aziz case is more important. It's happening tomorrow. The deadline for that is tomorrow. And I want to tell you something so bad.
You tell me what you're comfortable telling me. Let's
go to the room because I'm always paranoid that you think we've been listening to in here?
No. Dispatch room is pretty fucking good.
Airtight? Okay. So Cantor initially, a long time ago, said she was going to testify 100%. When she got deputized, she said, Coyote, I'm all in. Everything she told me first was off the record. She said, if it helps you dig other stuff you can use, go for it. When she got deputized, she said, you know what? Let's go. I'm all in. I'll get on the stand. I'll say whatever I need to say. Well, I met with her again today and I said to her, listen now, you still ready? See, she says, but as soon as I conclude everything that we're going to talk about, at the very end, she goes, you know what? I can't do it. And I said, why? I can't do it. She says, I had an experience. Apparently, Mr. K and them grabbed her and they let her go. And she said, they let me go, like, because, certain things were said and there was an understanding. And I feel that if I testify, they're going to come against me. I said, it's funny. They grabbed me too. And they let me go as well.
You?
They grabbed me yesterday. Mr. K kidnapped me, held me at gunpoint, took everything I had.
Is that why you have a new damn number?
See?
Fuck. I
told him I'm still going to go with the Solomon case. I know you guys, I know who killed Aziz, and nothing going to stop me. The PD and everyone in the PD knows. They tell me not to do it. It's pointless, but I'm going to do it. Well, they let me walk. They told me a bunch of shit that Max did that I had no idea about. And they let me walk. When I told Cantor that, she said, they let you walk even though you said you're going to go through with the case? I said, see. She says, you know what? On that case, I will testify. But on one condition. The condition is nobody knows that we spoke today. That way, if anybody asks, me testifying was a prior arrangement that we had prior to her getting kidnapped.
I'm going to cut you off. Because I can't be the one to speak to Cantor. The only way that this case will be evident to proceed is that you need to go speak with Cantor. And I'm not
doing it. No, because I tell you why. Because earlier today I said, if your life is going to be in danger and you have apprehensions, don't do it. Because as a doctor, I understand. But when you got sworn in, I was kind of pretty much relying on your testimony, your like oath of office. Because once you become a deputy, you have a completely different set of objectives.
Mm-hmm.
One of which is the pursuit of justice.
There's a little. There's a clause in there though.
And there was
the things that she said to you. Was she already deputized, or did she say those things when she was still a doctor?
What things?
At the start of this case, the confidence among everything that happened between, I guess, Solomon and the stuff that happened with TJ, was she deputized at that point?
No. Whenever when the shooting happened, I followed up with as many people as I could that was present. And whenever I went to her as one of the victims, she said, listen, after she walked me through where she was sitting and how the shooting happened, she said, there's one more thing, but you have to promise me, this is off the record, you have to promise. I said, of course. She said, when I brought up the time change to Solomon, he like freaked out. And that was the key to the very beginning of this investigation. I used that and I started digging without ever intending to use her testimony. Then she becomes deputized. And she says, by the way, remember that thing that I say? If you're still investigating that, I will take the stand. I'm not afraid any longer. But fast forward to today, to yesterday. She's fearing for her life again. So when I sensed that apprehension, I said, you know what, I'm calling it off. She said, I'll do it for you. Like, it's the right thing. But I said, oh, let's forget it. And we parted ways. But she called me a few hours later, said, I thought about it. I'll do it. In one condition. If anyone approaches and anybody asks, I didn't tell you that I got kidnapped. That way, if they ask me why I took the stand, she can say it was a prior arrangement that she had agreed to. Like a week or so ago. Does that make sense?
I think...
And now I hear, now Uriel called and she's afraid. So if she's afraid, like, I'm going with my first instinct, which is just to drop it.
Well, your first instinct is one thing. I'm going to give you a second consideration. You proceeded with this month-long investigation.
See, and I fumbled at the end like a fucking idiot.
You didn't fumble.
It's past the statute. It's the 31st day already.
Yeah, they're going to argue that. But I do think there's something important regardless of what you end up deciding to do, there's something important that I think you need to know. If you built an entire case, busted your fucking ass for the pursuit of what is right on the confidence of a witness, for them to last second walk away, Cantor is no better than the people that committed the crime then.
No,
If
you can't
she-
say that. That is so unfair to her. You can't say
You-
that.
I agree. But how is it fair to you to put your heart and soul into that for her to at the last second drop it all and say, no, thank you? That's unfair to you too. I respect the shit out of Cantor, and I don't hold her to the same level of the people that did what they did to TJ. But would you not agree that her giving you her
I
word
think this
to
is
then go...
real.
Okay.
Hola. Sí. He's back in MRPD. You want to finish what you were going to say?
Yeah. I think it's worth having the conversation with Cantor at the minimum to tell her and say that
she's having apprehension. I don't want it to.
I understand. But you worked on this based on the confidence that she was willing to have your back.
I should have gotten more. I fucking failed. It's the sad truth.
You didn't fail. You learned. If you look at it as a failure, it's a failure. If you look at it as a learning moment, you learned.
I'm gonna let him in.
Okay. Bob got harsh for a second. The reality is if somebody is willing to back their claim through an entire investigation at the last minute to drop it all.
All right. Spoke to Cantor. She said she would still testify. However, if she gets even a sniff of, her life being in danger, then she's out.
I don't want to do it if she's having apprehension.
Is Cantor aware that the minute that's on the docket, she really doesn't have a choice in a criminal court to testify?
I'm sure she does, but I don't know. It seemed almost like she was willing to take failure to appear over testifying at that point. The way I was talking, the way she seemed, something's got her big time spooked.
Let's call it off. I cannot in good conscience have her get on the stand and do it. It was too little too late, and there just isn't enough. It's the sad truth. I don't feel comfortable risking her life like that.
Bob's gonna hold off. Bob's gonna hold off on saying what he wants to say.
There is the Aziz case whose deadline is tomorrow. And I think that should be the main focus.
You are primary on the case. You do what you feel is comfortable.
I mean,
I do think with this decision, I think that you and Uriel should have a conversation. I do think that at the minimum, with the work that's gone into it, I do think that a conversation should at least be had to make sure you guys are okay on that.
Yeah.
A lot of work went into this. I can give you guys some time. I'd love to give my input.
Please, I need it. I need your input. Don't
Okay,
go.
okay.
We fucking need you. We literally need you as a senior here.
Okay.
Guiding us.
I will. I don't want to.
Out of water.
You're
it's
fine.
The first case I ever fucking did. Okay, and I come in short at the mark. There's so much life on the line that I cannot risk. If it goes on there, they're gonna take her and they're not gonna be merciful to her.
I agree with that, and I'm gonna say something that really fucking sucks because I just had a scream match at Sandy Shores about the morale of being a damn officer to people. And I pretty much made the point that we shouldn't be looking at people as criminals. We should be looking at people as people. And if we can continue to approach our self-image with civilians, they will view the PD differently. Because if we approach somebody as a criminal, they're gonna approach us as a cop, right? And the reason I'm bringing this up is because what I'm going to say might go against that, but with reason. While I agree that Cantor would have some concern and absolutely does hold some risk, what is stopping these people from doing this again? What?
Listen, you preaching to the choir. This morning, I was so fucking fuming. Not at her. Because this fucking case, there's like 12 fucking people that will not speak. If I could go around burning everybody that come and give me information, this would be an open and shut case 10 days ago. But no one will speak. And this one outfit has the entire fucking city sweating. There is no law in the city. None whatsoever. People are afraid to get up there and fucking testify, sworn deputies. But I don't blame her. I can't accuse her. What about the 7 other fucking people that will not speak? They tell me something quote unquote off the record, but they won't get on the stand and say it.
That's the reality.
How are they any different? How are they any different than Cantor? How can I give them a pass and be upset at Cantor? At least Cantor is thinking about it. And if right now I really pushed her, she would go on there against her better judgment. And I don't want to do that to her because she's so much more valuable to the city.
I agree. I 100% agree with you. And I will tell you that the other 7 people who spoke off the record but won't have any nerve to put up to the stand are no better. And it's a fucking shame. It really, really is. The only thing that I could offer to this is that once it is on the docket, if it goes to the docket, you can still submit evidence after the fact. Granted, I have to ask Uriel, with statute of limitations, would you be able and allowed to submit new evidence?
Yeah, I mean, it's the statute is posting the docket case.
Okay.
Because it's pressing the charges.
I think if you decide to put this on the docket, you need to go back to one of those people and have one person speak on behalf of TJ. And I think
they won't. There was one person who I'm not going to mention who. All I needed him to say is just talk about his character. That's it. Just his character. What type of mind he was that he could vouch for. This person said, I cannot. It is too hot. I am in danger. I told him that my phone was stolen. And from then forth, he never picked up another one of my phone calls. He said legitimately that he's too afraid. And I don't blame him. And this was the person that I put my hopes on that could at least speak, not on incriminating anybody, but to only testify what a good person TJ was. That they're even afraid to do.
I think somebody needs to do it if this case has a fighting chance. And I think the fighting chance would be strong if one person spoke. And I don't know who you've spoken to, but I think that it's valuable that those people know the position that you're in. Obviously not give them the details of the case, but to say it would expedite this case tremendously if one of those 7 people, even if you went back and asked them, and they'd be willing to propose a statement, a single statement to be submitted later as evidence once this is on the docket.
They won't. And besides, it will be too late. It's posted. Like, we can't add new statements.
No, you can. Once it is on the docket, let's say
you
7.
Can amend the evidence.
Yeah, you can make amendments to the evidence once it's on the docket, but you would be essentially taking a gamble that once it's on the docket, you're on crunch time from the time of scheduling. You get one person to come forward and be willing to speak on behalf. Once it's on the docket, it's a race. It is a race.
Without Cantor, the whole thing fall apart. Cantor is the one that revealed Solomon's involvement, his surprise and uneasiness at the time being changed. She pretty much like the witness on TJ, her saying that TJ let the entire council know through the email chain that they used that he would be an hour late on the day of the shooting. That is so fucking crucial. The information she gave on the council meeting when they discussed having the articles of impeachment put down, like all of that stuff, it goes out the window. And with her, the whole thing disappears. And if she's already being threatened, if she's so fucking spooked, remember she testified in the court for the terrorism thing. But she's 10 times more spooked now than she was then. And this whole thing relies on her. It's too much. They threaten World War III if Solomon going down, if he gets impeached. Well, if this charge goes through, it's going to be worse than an impeachment. Because an impeachment disappears after nine months. This will stay forever on his record, and he will forever be barred from any office ever again.
I'm gonna ask.
You think they're gonna look kindly on her if she's the reason for that?
Uriel, can I ask a question?
Sure.
Do you guys? I'm gonna ask both of you actually. Do you both believe that there's enough evidence to suspect that? And this might be an obvious answer, but I'm just kind of settling maybe an alternative here. Do you think there's enough evidence to state that Cantor's life could be at risk if this goes to the docket? Obviously, right?
Yeah.
Would a deposition help? I would almost go as far as to say a deposition would be needed if Cantor were to speak.
I would say yes.
Do you?
I mean, is that?
Sorry. Go ahead.
It's the same thing, right?
It would be the same thing, but I think the less people to see it, if it were to happen, the safer it would be.
These guys are gonna FOIA. They're gonna dig. They're gonna find out when no deposition is not gonna stop anything.
I mean, listen. I'm not saying it's gonna stop anything. I'm in a morally pained dilemma right now.
Yeah.
Because there are two sides to this coin, and neither of them are good. Neither of them are good. And I think if anyone is to have this hard conversation to explain to Cantor the value of her in this case, to see if she would be willing to reconsider, I think the only person that could explain that information is to Cantor. And I personally would go as far as to say that if you have consideration to continue with this, I think you can probably disclose a little more than you would probably wish to Cantor. Because if you do end up submitting this, it's probably going to be tonight. And if it gets submitted tonight, the evidence is going to be public anyway.
I don't feel good about it. I cannot, in good conscience, for her safety, go through with this period. She is not the Cantor that spoke to me when she got deputized versus the one that I've been kind of noticing recently. I don't feel comfortable, Flop. I just don't, and I don't want to put her through that. Period. I just cannot.
Okay. I think
we won't submit it to the docket, so be it. We'll take it as a learning experience. I will do so. And tomorrow I'll get up fresh and early. And Uriel, if you will assist me tomorrow with Aziz, I would really appreciate.
All right.
I don't know if you guys want to speak. I'm going to step out and return a call real quick. And I will be right back.
All right.
All right.
Okay. Thank you, Uriel, for staying up late.
So there's something that Flop has dwindling in the back of his mind. that he is not discussing with either Uriel or Coyote. But do you guys remember the conversation that happened with Etta calling Flop freaking out at the hospital? And Flop went to the hospital and was like, what's going on? What's the emergency? And when it was explained, Flop said, you need to jump ship. You need to get the fuck out. And Cantor turned around and said, do you not care about the future of this city? And Flop said, I care about the future of the city, but whether you're there or not, it's going to continue. Cantor fought Flop in that room verbally to defend taking people out of power to better the continuation of the city. And for Cantor to back out of that, to Flop, not me, but to Flop, makes her a hypocrite. So, to Flop's opinion, for Cantor to lead on a case for a month where Flop has witnessed a man sweat blood and tears, having 37,000 meetings, having multiple conversations, taking statements, submitting subpoenas on the last day of Christmas, for Cantor to come forward and say, can't do it. To Flop, Cantor's a complete hypocrite. Is she at risk? Of course. But she was willing to die on the cross for Max, for the betterment of the city, for her to now bail and essentially let TJ's case go completely uninvestigated. Flop is not going to disclose that side to Coyote, but to Flop, he looks at it very negatively in the mindset that if you wanted to die on that hill, why'd you go back on your word and waste this man's time? She's been at a risk for a month plus. That's fine. But again, from Flop's perspective, he begged Cantor to leave. He begged Etta to leave and to not show their faces to that council ever. And for Cantor to back out of it this late in the game puts a very sour taste in Flop's mouth. So I love Flop, but he's a hypocrite as well. In terms of what? I mean, listen. To be fair, to clarify too, Coyote is also not a saint in this either. Coyote fucked up. It doesn't sound like he got help from anybody, and if he had gotten and asked for help, I think that this probably would have been resolved a week ago, if not longer. Because Flop admits the hypocrisy with the fact that he cares about the betterment of the civilian, treating people like civilians, and cares about treating people with the good heart of protecting and serving. But at the same time, in this specific instance, Flop does feel like Cantor personally could have fucked over Coyote's whole case. So that's sort of the 2 cents mindset that I'm just expressing. I am curious to know what you mean by Flop's a hypocrite as well. What the fuck? I mean, I don't disagree with that.
You don't see me right now, but hola.
On you know, encouraging the behavior, but I mean that's just the nature of the city. There you are. I was looking for Coyote. What's up? How you
Just
doing?
fucking hands up.
Is this for yesterday?
What happened yesterday?
When you tried to tackle me?
I don't remember that.
I
don't
phased the
remember
fuck
that.
up.
Oh.
What'd I
Oh,
do?
You should be getting a sneak for that fucking too.
Wait, what'd I do?
You should get snuck for that. Okay,
Oh,
bitch.
little upside the
No,
head.
this is my annual fine flop dugong, so I can yell at him and be like, Flop, remember
Hey.
what we talked about?
What'd I do?
What happened? Where did you go? I miss you, Flop.
Oh,
Yeah.
I appreciate you. Thank you. I'm good. I've been around. Last like 2 weeks, I've been a little bit more on limited patrol for shift 3. But I unironically in my limited patrol, I'm still doing double the hours that I do in this shift. So I give it that. But
Listen,
I'm doing good.
I just want to make sure you're doing good.
I'm doing fantastic, Lucas. I'm doing phenomenal.
Do you have tea?
I do actually have some tea.
Do you know why 2 PPOs and an officer are 3 stacking and have been 3 stacking? And why one of those PPOs are not in their proper shift?
You know, I don't fucking know. So Fritz, I will say this about here. We'll step in here real quick. So with Fritz, he called me.
Okay.
And I fucked up a little bit in the eyes of Alice, but I did call Alice after the conversation, and she said, "Yeah, no, we're not doing that." And Alice said she was going to speak to Fritz, but Fritz called me a week and a half ago, ish, and it said, "Hey, Flop, I know sometimes I bleed into shift 1 a little bit out of shift 3. I was curious, and I cut him off. I said, you want to bleed from shift 2 into shift 3? He goes, yeah. I said, me personally, we are typically down horrendous during that transition period, and I wouldn't mind you being around. I said, unless I'm told otherwise by command, I'll let you know. Alice called me at the start of shift 3 about some report stuff or a check-in for Fritz, which I just realized, holy shit. I don't know if I told her I was going to do that or not. I will check that.
Oh,
but
okay.
I said, oh, also Alice, I had a conversation with Fritz like an hour or 2 ago about this. And she said, yeah, no, we're not doing that right now because we don't want people to be in trouble or get in trouble for being out of shift with an incident that maybe would fly in our shift, but not fly in other people's shift. So I said, okay, do you want me to talk with him about that? And Alice said, I'll take care of it. I said, okay. I don't know if that conversation ever happened.
I'm assuming that it didn't.
Okay.
I would hope so.
Let me see if his FTO report for Fritz. What is Fritz?
I was just curious.
No, you're good.
Curious.
Let me see. I don't know why they're tripling up. I want to fucking scream at that PPO check-in. Let me see.
Well, I responded to the cash exchange, and then when I realized that every single person outside of myself in that pursuit was just a CVPI, and I looked at the vehicle, and I looked at myself, and then I looked at my GPS, and I realized that every single other blip that was attached to the call was probably at least 2 miles away.
Stood up to the whole Lenny
from me.
situation. He absolutely did.
I just pulled off.
He still got punished for it. Yeah, oh man, if I was there, I would have asked him like, why the fuck are you guys tripled up? Get the fuck into a car.
But I'll be honest with you, I just woke up and I'm still tired, and I low-key just do not give a fuck.
Yeah, I don't
so
blame
I
you.
Ask. I was just curious. I don't really care, to be honest, right now, but I thought maybe you would know.
Yeah, so I know that Daft was alone at
Also,
first.
Alexis might be kidnapped.
What?
Maybe.
Like now?
But I think she had popped. I'm assuming head
Where's she at?
Her scout was in the middle of the road on Vespucci Boulevard, but
Cornwood is north. Where's on fire right now? What the fuck? Oh, what's that?
Not on duty. Was she on duty earlier?
Oh wait,
I don't know that.
A local just called in. Wait, hold on. Pulled over on Sonora Freeway and spoke to a stranded officer.
Units be advised. Late
Oh shit. Let's go. Yep, let's get units over there. That's on fire. Every unit on duty. Can I call 78s for that? Is that worth 78s?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm sorry, that is so funny.
Grab a car. I'm doubling with you.
Oh, come, it's down here.
How the fuck? What is that fucking timing, Lucas?
I don't know, but I had found her vehicle, and I was asking the boys to assist me with like in Pontiac, 'cause I thought she just had pop and went to
Yeah,
sleep,
I'm right here.
I never saw her
I'm
on duty
helping
when I got
get
on
to
duty.
duty.
So, just like thought about it.
Yeah, no,
and I was
Flop
like,
set up
wait,
to the whole
maybe
Lenny
this
bullshit
could be-
thing.
Maybe she's kidnapped. Yes.
The Lenny
Where's the 911
situation.
from?
What's up?
Where's the 911 located?
Prison.
Okay.
Sonora Freeway prison, I should say. That's, are you on scene right now?
Negative. I'm at CMC.
Copy. 78's get everybody up to that 911. Everybody.
It's moments like this that I low-key reminisce having a fucking button that I could be like, dink donk, actual 78. I kind of miss that.
Sorry, 10-9, Cornwood.
Who's kidnapped in the prison?
Not in the prison.
Alexa.
It's Alexis on fire. We just had an anonymous 911 state that somebody saw her and apparently she was kidnapped. Yeah, I kind of miss having a fucking button.
Like sometimes, like, but I feel like the button was corny in other ways. So like,
It was corny. We also had a lot of
23.
Wait, 23. Oh.
Lavender,
28276.
get your gun out. They're around here.
Alexa's stating, get your gun out. They're around here. So.
I need one unit to check on Alexis. I need everyone checking bushes.
There are multiple vehicles surrounding the prison, going in and out, and kidnapping officers.
I'm first saying there's multiple vehicles around the prison going in and out and kidnapping officers.
Keep lethals out. Secure the scene. Secure on fire. See if anything was stolen off of her.
They took her gear.
Copy. I need documentation of that. PDD. We don't have EMS. Let's do an on-scene treatment. Once she's somewhat stabilized, we'll get her transported.
Fine.
Was she shot?
Oh, never mind.
Like a horse, but they had horns.
Are you hurt, or are you just laying down because you're
Negative.
scared?
The bear inside helped me
Soze?
leave.
Okay.
That's right.
What?
The bear.
She calls Soze the bear.
Oh, Jesus Christ. Okay.
She said an individual with...
On fire. If you're not hurt, let's get in the fucking car. Let's get the hell out of here
Let's
and
go.
let's talk. All right. We're gonna downgrade this to code 4. On fire is Ocean King. Her shit was stolen. We're gonna try and get a statement from her. I need first on scene to put up a report. I'll go and get a statement from On Fire.
The bear was saying they are bringing in officers and they're taking their stuff. And as I escaped, the vehicles were circling the prison.
What did the vehicles look like on fire?
Like dorks in races.
You know what kind
Sports
of cars they
cars.
were?
Lots of
Oh! Oh!
lots of sports vehicles. Driving around fast, disobeying the law on the road.
Oh. You remember the colors?
There was one that took me in front of Legion,
Okay.
and I think it might have been the tailgater. It had the word
Okay.
obey on it.
Okay, yeah, that probably is a tailgater. You're right.
Nozzle, if you're still here, I'm still kind of curious about like, I'd like to clarify sort of like deeper
It
detail
wasn't
as
the
to
retro one.
how Flop didn't stand up to the
Okay.
PD with the Lenny situation.
It's like the
If the
bougie
result of
one.
not standing up was Flop should quit the PD, that's an insane theory.
The one with the spikes.
Yeah.
Flop did stand up to the PD, which is why he got in trouble.
I didn't have my gun to defend myself.
Had they already taken that?
They took my phone, my radio, my gun.
Seeing
my
as no one put up
stun
a
gun.
fucking report. Who's the no. Who the fuck was the cadet that was first on scene?
I don't know who that is.
Who was the first unit on scene with the 78's call?
I think we arrived about the same time, but 678 will put the report up.
Copy that. Thank you. Oh my God. That motherfucker called 23, and like 10 seconds later, we call 23. I don't want to fucking hear it. Whew. All right. Once this report's up, I'm gonna have you kind of start. Okay, it's up. Can you, from the very top, and any little bit of information, just speak a little slow so I can keep up? I'm gonna just get your full statement. The only thing I'm gonna ask you to do
ready.
Okay, the only thing I'm gonna ask you to do in this report is for everything that you are missing, can you personally label like what is missing? Because you know your pockets better than I do. But if there was like a specific quantity of something missing, if you could note that down, that would be appreciated. But go ahead.
Understood. I was at the intersection of Strawberry and Vespucci, and 2 vehicles surrounded my Scout. They said, hello, and then the other vehicle to my right was the Obey vehicle. And I saw a gun pointed directly towards me, and I was ordered into the vehicle. I was taken, I believe, off-road to the prison, and they did an awesome jump over the gates, and we landed in the outer perimeter, but inside the prison. Before the jump, I was ordered to place my belongings in the glove box. When I was in there, the bear was on a bike. And he looked like the bear. And he said, you should go to the tower and wait there because people in here they want to kill cops. And I couldn't contact anyone without my gear, so all I could do was wait until someone noticed. And then the bear escorted me to the front and said, follow me quickly before they find you. I wasn't scared. I ran to the exit, and I had the bear time me. See how fast I ran. I went through the doors, and there was another prisoner with the bear. I do not know who they were. I went to the highway, and then multiple vehicles were driving in and out of the prison parking lot. I concealed myself while I waited for backup.
Okay.
As I waited, I was approached by an individual in a vehicle who shouted at me. And I told them to call 911.
Okay. And then we showed up.
That's right.
What's up, Sean? How you doing? All right. I got your statement. The only thing I'm going to ask from you in this is, can you itemize what specifically you left, quantity, stuff like that in the report? Your statement is done. I just need sort of an itemize what you have missing.
That's right. I had my phone with the card in it taken, my Glock with the flashlight attachment and a full cartridge of ammo inside, the full magazine, my stun gun with 3 stun darts loaded, and my government radio.
Okay. Cool. I mean, not cool, but cool. I got it all noted, so.
The bear said that the prisoners, specifically the criminals inside, were hungry. And I was offering my food. However, he did not mean it that way. He meant that officers' lives are at risk of getting taken to the prison.
Interesting. Okay. Well, your report's in.
Was my scout recovered?
I don't think so.
Did anyone notice my scout?
Lucas?
Yeah, it's parked for you.
Great.
Yeah.
Good work, Lavender.
Oh, I didn't do it.
Understood.
Yeah.
Well, all right. I think we're good.
Period.
Yeah, I'll see you guys at the meeting.
I'll be there.
Make sure you come with a gun and you're geared, okay?
I didn't think I was going to make the meeting.
Oh.
Well, I'm glad that you're going to be there on fire.
I'm super, super glad.
Agreed.
I'm going to really quickly take a nap before it's about that time. I'll see you guys soon.
Bye, Fly.
Goodbye.
Bye.
All right. Actually, we don't have to. We spawn on the roof. We're good. But yeah, no, I think there is a very interesting dilemma. It kind of sucks to hear that Coyote's considering backing out of the TJ case, but I think Flop's insight was really important, and I hope that Coyote actually takes that into real consideration. I don't really care who he spoke to. It's really not my fucking problem or my deal. But yeah, I don't know. Morning, is that just a copy of the report? The report should save. Gotcha. I appreciate you. Thank you. I'll even do this real quick while we still have time. Hey, boop, 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 boop. All right. Yeah, I think I think Coyote's situation's unfortunate. I don't really give a shit who else was spoken to. I don't like that. Doesn't really bother me. I think from Flop's concern, he doesn't like the fact that somebody decided to jump ship after building a case around the willingness of wanting to give a statement. So I'm curious to see how it goes. I'm curious to see if Coyote decided to have second thoughts or not. But kind of an interesting one, I think. Kind of a wild case, wild situation. But you know. The only thing I hope is that people understand that it's fucking roleplay and don't get too fucking attached and understand that I'm just here to enjoy myself. I know I got a little hot there over the idea of Cantor, but you know. Unfortunately, chatters are parasocial and will probably assume the worst for me saying that Cantor's not any better than anybody that actually hurt TJ. Sand, you're good. You're chilling. Good to have you here. But streamer, I need my drama for for Reddit cred. Yeah, sorry to break your heart. You mean roleplay isn't real? What? It was so good. At least I don't believe OnFry would go full Lenny off a lost turbo. Probably not. I think the turbo situation is kind of funny because I don't know why it's so like heated. I don't know. I'm enjoying the roleplay though. It's good. I'm sure that there will be more to come, and I'm sure I need to express this to my chat, but I'm sure there's a lot more to come, and I'm sure more will uncover. Yet there's this cute little thing called patience. And take a fucking breath. I'm sure. I don't know why. I'm sure Ziggy is not involved in this whatsoever. I'm sure Solomon didn't call, or I'm sure Coyote didn't call everybody TJ had contact with. I'm sure Ziggy wasn't on that list of people that was spoken to. I'm sure Flop wasn't a witness to the fucking meeting that happened at his house. I'm sure Chad is freaking the fuck out. Gee, I wonder, who else did you speak to, Solomon? Give it a breath. I'm sure we'll get answers. I think that my chat needs to fucking breathe. I saw the fucking sips when he was talking. I think Jenny made the snarky ass fucking remark that I wonder who else he spoke to. We know who he spoke to. Just breathe. It's pretty apparent who else he spoke to. Chat, you need a Prozac. Relax. Ugh. Is Prozac still given out to people? I'm watching The Sopranos, so I don't really know. Never mind. Prozac's not what I thought it was. Is it though? Hold on. Is Prozac considered an antidepressant actually? Maybe I'm not thinking of Prozac. What's the other one? I'm trying to ask Meta Chat for the TLDR since I just woke up. Xanax? Anxiety, depression? Got it. Blue Chew? Valium? I know Valium's a pretty popular one. I was thinking of the one for not Prozac. Can you give us MDMA? You're fucking insane. A little blue pill, not Viagra. I forget what the pill I'm thinking of. It's not an antidepressant, but it's meant for like anxiety. Is it Xanax? It's Xanax? Okay. I just know it's Tums. Why are Tums for anxiety? No. Tums are for your stomach. The fuck you mean? Ritalin is definitely not for anxiety. Here's all I know. I know so little about medication. The most I know is Adderall and what the doctors have prescribed me in recent time. What the fuck is a Tums? It's a powdery thing that you chew, and it's supposed to settle the acid levels in your stomach. But I've learned that people that don't live in the United States don't know what Tums is. I don't know if it's called something different or if we eat so shittily that we need medication to support our horrible eating. Hydroxyzine? I think I know what hydroxyzine is. Stronger for anxiety stuff. Chat, take a Xanax. I'm sure the truth will uncover. It's an antacid, yeah. Mousley, do you guys have antacids or like US just has a shit diet? Oh, I don't disagree. Our diet's not that great, but no, thank you. I don't take meds. I don't get prescribed. Good. That's not something we really buy here. That's what I learned though. I forget, this was a long time ago, but somebody made the comment and I'm like, what do you mean you don't know what Tums are? And then I learned that no one knew what Tums were.
Hey, what up?
Or that pink bottle with liquid I see in TV shows.
I miss anything good yesterday?
What the fuck is that called?
Sometimes she talks though, and then I stop listening. So maybe she told me.
Actually, yeah, you did miss. There were 2 women fighting over Daft with knives. It was pretty crazy, actually.
Wow. Is it the clown? You
That's
want to
abysmal, thank you.
Women fighting over me was actually Flop's
Not
daughter.
the Pepto.
Oh wow, that's like that's a conversation for Flop.
What'd you say?
His daughter was fighting over him.
Oh.
With another girl.
Jesus.
No, your daughter, silly.
My daughter?
No, Flop's daughter was
Recognize
fighting over
that?
Orin.
You acted like my daughter was fighting over me. Is how you pronounced
That
it.
would actually be. Okay, well, you make out with fish, so you know
That's
you
true.
can't
I
really
don't
run
make
anything
out
past
with
you.
fish.
You
Fish
said they're
always look like
always
they're trying to make
asking
out with
for
me
it.
Hey,
because
Daph, come
they're
here
all
real
puckered
quick.
up.
Oh,
Ooh.
Guys, don't worry. This can't end bad.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, what's good?
You keep my daughter's name out of your mouth or you'll be doing it with no teeth.
To be fair, I never said your daughter's name. I said your name.
All right, I'm in my head for 5 minutes.
If
I
you
get
ever
that.
say my daughter's name with a negative connotation, you'll be doing it with no teeth.
Okay, but what if I say, like, what if I don't use her name? What if I just say Flop's daughter was you know, wanting it?
No teeth.
Okay.
I'm kind of hungry. I don't really have anything. Should I grab? I'm gonna grab popcorn and decaf. That's a delicious meal.
Hi, babe. How are you? Oh, really? Okay.
This should have taken 2 seconds to get up. And I'm now fighting with God to open up this fucking pack of Keurig cups. Oh my God.
What is that?
All right, I'm back. Sorry. Oh my God, Jesus Christ. Okay, that timing. Holy shit, I'm glad I got up. Holy crap. Peppa with the giant raid. What's up, everybody? How we doing? What's good? Love you. Love you. Chris, what's up, Peppa? How you doing, brother? Adios, senor. Love you, buddy. Enjoy your night. I'm going to bed. Dude, you have been killing it. Boy, you've been great scenes always, man. Always. With you, it's always a fucking pleasure. I appreciate you all being here. What's good, everybody? Hello. How we doing? I'm Chris. I play Flop. So, oh, hold on. I can tell your community about my meta now. So, Flop walked out of the room and said he had to return a phone call. And Flop said the very mean things to Cantor. Or mean things about Cantor, right? Would you guys like the meta now as to what Flop was talking about? He wasn't gonna